moving forward, what are you doing differently in your investing portfolio given the Fed situation, inflation, geopolitical conflict, all these different components that are playing out? Are you changing anything in your investment portfolio?
No, not really. I mean, my strategy was working out beautifully up until the Russia. I mean, our value stocks, our dividend paying stocks were on fire, defensive stocks, our gold stocks were creeping higher. Now they're moving up. The gold portion of my portfolio is now kicked in a lot better. The gold stocks are doing better. Some of my stocks, like some of my oil stocks are making new highs. Some of them are having trouble because of their Russia connections. I have some agriculture and other base metal stocks that are making new highs. But a lot of my defensive names, my telcos, my tobaccos, some of these other chemical companies that I had that were doing well are getting hit now because of the Russia concerns. I think it's being overblown for the European market and the euro, and so we are looking to add to those positions on this weakness, and we did anticipate some weakness, so we did have some dry powder there. We're still positive on the year in our funds and our strategies, which is great because hardly anybody else is making money, and that's on the long side. I mean, we're not short; we're still making money long. Because on average, what we're long is still going up, even if some of it is having some problems now with the situation. But I think the U.S. market has a long way to go down relative to Europe and Asia. I think it's been defying gravity. We had a bounce in these tech stocks. They were selling off pretty hard before Russia. And I think they're going to continue to sell off after this bounce. That would include Bitcoin. Bitcoin and some of these other beaten down money-losing companies did have a bounce. I mean, Bitcoin got down as low as maybe 33,000, 34,000. Then it rallied back up to 44,000, 45,000. And I think that rally has run its course. Tech stocks and other risk assets like Bitcoin are getting ready, I think, to roll over. And we don't have those. We have no weighting to tech. I have a very, very low weighting to the financials, way underweight there. They've been getting hit pretty hard. I expect that to continue, but I may have to look in that direction at some point. But we're loaded up on materials, and that's what's doing well, inflation sensitive. And I like the businesses that have the pricing power, the companies that are going to be able to weather inflation because their customers are just going to pay higher prices. They're just going to cut back someplace else. So I don't want to own the companies that are the consumer discretionary, the items that can be foregone because you're spending too much money on food and energy. But I'm confident again that we're going to get the Fed pivoting its monetary policy. They're going to surrender to inflation. They're not going to, best it in some kind of Paul Volcker style battle because it's impossible. So inflation is going to be here for a long, long time. It's going to be a new reality as far as the American experience. And people are going to have to adjust to high inflation the way people in Argentina adjust to high inflation. And you just have to try to figure out how to deal with it. Unfortunately, because it's not going to go away because there is no political will to do what's necessary to solve that problem. So we're all going to be dealing with a much bigger problem. But, I feel bad for people who think that they're taking refuge in Bitcoin. I mean, a lot of the Bitcoin guys understand the problem. They just don't understand the investment solution for themselves because they put their faith into Bitcoin as if the whole world is just going to magically move from a fiat standard to a Bitcoin standard. That ain't going to happen. Just like, we still need fossil fuels. We still need oil and gas. We still need gold. We still need silver. Bitcoin ain't going to cut it. It derives all of its value from faith. And this is not a time for faith. This is a time to rely on real facts and real value in history, not just make a pie in the sky bet that all your fellow hodlers are never going to sell. You're just buying into something on the belief that nobody's going to sell it. Well, if nobody sells it, what good is it? Because it doesn't do you any value. You can have your gold and you can sell it because there's always going to be demand for gold. You don't need people constantly hodling it because there's real demand and people are making stuff out of gold every day. Nobody makes anything out of Bitcoin, and no one ever will make anything out of Bitcoin. So when people stop believing in it, it's going to implode. Right now, you've still got this opportunity to get out. I mean, look at these prices. Don't look at $39,000 Bitcoin and think that it's cheap because it was 69,000. Think about how expensive it was because it used to be nothing. It came from zero. And it's going to go back to zero, like that, it's from the life cycle, you start out as dust and then you return to dust. Same thing's going to happen with Bitcoin, from dust to dust.
Hey, you, did you like this video? Great. We make 5 of them a day and post them here on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and see you next time.